This lesson is going to show you the percent proportion. This can be used to solve all types of percent problems. I highly recommend using it and trying it. So the percent proportion would be an alternative to the percent equation. The percent proportion also uses part, whole, and percent, but you'll notice in this proportion there's one extra spot, and that is for, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. This is for the 100. There's always going to be a 100 here, and that's because your percent is out of 100. So my percent is always going to be in the numerator above the 100 when we're talking about the proportion. And if you remember with the equation, you had to turn the percent into a decimal. This is a replacement for that. So it takes the 100 into account. You don't have to worry about changing the percent into a decimal at all. And then what we have on the other side is we have the part and then the whole. So the percent proportion is part over whole is equivalent to your percent over 100. We talked, let me change the color here. You will often, not always, but you will see the word is when associated with the part and of associated with the whole, just like when we were talking about with the equation. So I want to go through how to solve these using the proportion instead of the equation itself. So the first one, what percent of 25 is 20? My percent is what I'm looking for. My whole is going to be 25, and my part is going to be 20. And I'm using those words is and of to help me figure that part out. So I'm going to start with my skeleton of my proportion. I always plop the 100 in there first. Since the percent is what we're looking for, I'm going to leave that as a variable, and then I'm going to plug in 20 for my part and 25 for my whole. From here, we're going to solve the equation by cross multiplying. I always start with the cross with the variable. So I'm going to write 25n, and that's going to be directly below where my first ratio was. I'm going to bring down that equal sign, and then 20 times 100 is 2,000. Now I have an equation. Once I have this equation, I am going to divide both sides. I'm going to change that to black. Divide both sides by 25. The reason I'm going to do that is because those 25s get canceled out, and I'm left with n is equal to 80. And because this is a percent, I need to add my 80% on there. So let's just make this a little bigger. My answer is 80%. And again, because we already took the 100 into account, we don't have to worry about multiplying it by 100. It's already in its percent form, 80%. So let's try the next one. What number is 5% of 60? My percent in this case is right here, 5%. It's easy with the percent sign there. Then the question is 60 the part or the whole? This of is going to help me indicate that it's the whole, which means what number we're looking for the part. I'm going to set up my proportion skeleton. I'm going to pop my 100 in there. The first thing I'm going to do is put my percent over the 100. That's always the easiest one for me to do. And we know that whole goes in the denominator, so my 60 is going to go here, and my part, what we're looking for, is here. Now we are going to cross multiply. I always start with the variable cross, so p times 100. So this is going to be 100p. I bring down my equal sign right there. 60 times 5 is 300. Now I am going to divide by 100 because this is the coefficient on the variable. See right here, 25 was the coefficient, so we're dividing both sides by 25. In this case, it's 100, so we're going to divide both sides by 100, and we're going to get P is equal to 3. So that is my answer. I'll write it a little bigger here. My part is 3. 40% of what number is 26? My percent is 40. Another way to think about this is your percent is your part. This is your part, but in percent form. So when we say 40% is, that's how we know that this right here is the part. This means we also have our of. We're looking for our whole. I am going to start with putting in my proportion skeleton with my 100 right there, and then I'm going to put my percent in first. So I know that 40 goes here. Note that I can drop the percent sign once I put it over 100. My part is 26, and my whole is what we're looking for. From here, we're going to cross multiply. Again, I'm going to start with the cross that has the variable attached to it. So this is 40 times W, or 40W. On my other cross, I have 26 times 100, or 2600. And from here, I am going to divide both sides of this equation by 40 because 40 is the coefficient in front of my variable. Once we divide both sides by 40, I ran out of room, so I got to come up here. We're going to get W is equal to 65. So that is going to be the answer right there.